out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. We in it again, y'all. Let's ride. Peace and love to everybody out there that's been rocking with me, man. I appreciate y'all. I feel the love. I feel the support with these 33 years of prison stories. Got a good one for you today, man. A real good one for you. I was telling this story recently, so brought it up. I want to go ahead and give it to y'all as well. I've said portions of this story before, I believe, in other stories that I told, but I'm going to try to give y'all the full-length version of this story right here. Got a lot of twists and turns in it. A lot of things in this story, man. Drugs, beefs, Bethlehems, hunger strikes, transfers, a lot of turning parts in this story, so y'all stay tuned. But before we do anything, man, I want y'all to go ahead on and hit that subscribe button if you ain't subscribed, man. Come on, show the love. Go ahead and subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Take that time out if you rocking with this content. If you like this content, if you feel this positive energy that we pushing out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button. And go ahead and share this video, man. And leave a comment about what you think about the video, what you learned from the video. If anything, what did you get out of the video? Let me know. Talk to me. Because as y'all know, I talk back. So we can get this thing moving around in the algorithm, man. And, you know, get it bigger and better and spread it out so more people can get this message that we trying to deliver. More people can get this energy that we trying to push out. So that's the goal, to get bigger and to spread wider, man. So y'all, let's get with it. Now, oh man, I don't even know how to start this thing, man. This thing is so crazy, right? This story right here, man, it takes place at Mecklenburg, right? So we got to say around, I'm guesstimating this story was happening around 92, 93, right? So I'm in the hole, you know, I had put a little work in, you know, somebody ain't like what I was saying or whatever, and I ain't like what they was saying, so, you know, that's what it came down to. And when I'm in the hole on Mecklenburg, when you're in the hole, it's, man, it ain't no telling when you coming out. That's one thing you got to be sure. Ain't no telling when you coming out. So I'm back there, and I've been back there for a minute, and a couple of cells open back there, and they ended up bringing a couple of dudes in, right? So the dude that they put right beside me, I see him when he come in, little straggly looking white dude, look young. You know, I'm young at the time myself, but he looked young and tall and lanky. They put him in, they put another dude in. He was coming up off the yard. So, you know, when you're in the cell back there, you know, it's on Mecklenburg, when you're in the hole, it's like 12 cells back there. You know, you in SEG, you use 12 cells. 6 on the bottom, 6 on top. So it ain't number 12 people back there. So you in the cell by yourself with nothing else. But, you know, like I say, the bed and the toilet, you know. So we used to holler back, talk to each other, you know, kick it on the gate. Some dudes might get information from back there, what was going on the radio. At that time, I think we could have radios back there, little bit of radio. Some dudes had the radio, some didn't. So they get the radio and they'll talk about what was going on the radio and things like that. So the white dude that came, he was, for the most part, he was quiet for like a day or two. You know, when nobody saying nothing to him, he won't hollering out, saying nothing to nobody else. And then, you know, dudes was talking to me because dudes know me. So, like about the third or fourth day, he right beside me, so he bang on the wall. And he said, yo, you up over there next door? I'm like, yeah, what's up? So he said, pull up on the slot. So I pull up on the slot. And he was like, yo, they call you Banky? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you from D.C.? I said, yeah. He said, man, that's crazy. He said, man, I just came from the road camp. I was on the road camp with homeboy of mine, man. And he said he was your peoples. He told me that if I come here to Mecklenburg, because everybody figured where I was going to get transferred to, because of my charge. He said, if I come to Mecklenburg, you know what I'm saying, he had some peoples up here. He said, you. And I was like, who you talking about? So he was like, dude named Booby. So that's my peoples and everything. So I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, yeah. So, you know, we get to kicking it and everything. And then he tells me that he got caught with a whole lot of drugs on the road camp. And for y'all who don't know, a road camp is like smaller version of prison. They got way, way more, you know, benefits. You know, some of them can even go out in the community to work and things like that. They don't even, some of them don't even have big fence, barbed wire fences and all of that. It's like real, real low level being locked up. So he said he had got caught with a lot of drugs on there. And man, he had went to court and he was facing got like 20 years, you know. So I'm like, man, what kind of drugs you had? They done took you off the road camp and gave you 20 years, man. He got caught with almost 1.5 ounces of cocaine and some heroin. So I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's a white guy, right? Young dude at that. So I was like, man, that's crazy. So he was like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? He said, but what be going on up here, man? You know, when we started talking about the institution or whatever, he jived like he was a little scared to go out on the yard because he ain't been to a major penitentiary. All he heard about was things going on in a major penitentiary. He had not even got to a major penitentiary. Now, not only are you on a major penitentiary, you on the most vicious penitentiary in Virginia at the time. You on Mecklenburg, where they send the killers and the head busters and everybody come here. This where the trouble people at. So they not only just to bypass you from prison, they done put you in the big boy jail. So he's scared to death about going out there on that yard, like I heard in his voice, and he more or less say so, you know. And I'm telling him, it ain't even no guarantee you gonna get on the yard, bro, for real. You know, the way the situation is up here. So he was like, man, you know, yeah, well, you know, they call me Scotty, man. And I'm like, okay, you know. So he was like, well, I do know this. Do they be having stuff on the yard? I'm like, stuff like what? He was like, drugs. They got drugs on the yard. I said, more or less, these dudes out here really love the weed. But if they do anything else, I don't know anything about it. But I do know they be having weed here and there on the compound, but not a lot because it's so hard to get on here, and you know, dudes be trying to get it, but it ain't like that. And that was the best of my knowledge. It wasn't. So he was like, man, I can get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I can get it. I get it easy, man. You know, my people bring it to me, so I can get it. It ain't like I gotta worry about somebody stop bringing it or nothing, man. He said, my people bring it, man. I said, your people? He was like, yeah. He said, my mom's. Right? So he was like, his mom's brings him the weed. He was like, yeah, she bring me whatever I want, man. But he said, mostly, I just be getting weed. He said, when I was on the road camp, I got caught up with the coke and all of that stuff because we had some big money dudes up there. But normally, dudes can't afford that stuff. But I had some big money dudes up there. That's why I was getting it. And I was trying to move. And I was like, oh, okay. So he was like, yeah, man, if I get out on the yard, man, I can get the weed, man. You know what I'm saying? So I can provide the yard with weed and stuff. But I ain't really trying to be messing with it because, you know, dudes gonna try to carry me. You know what I'm saying? He said, but if you trying to get in, or you got some other dudes out there that's trying to get in, if I get out, man, we can make some money together. You know? So I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, you know, that'll work, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to myself, I had already, as y'all already know, had been through the little thing with Hector, you know, with the little drug, you know. So I'm like, you know, but at the same time, in my mind, I'm thinking money. I know it's money to be made because I just went through the stuff with Hector and was making all this money with, you know what I'm saying, with the crack or whatnot. So it's ironic, it's crazy because all this time in my life, I ain't never messed with no drugs or sold no drugs on the street enough. And there in penitentiary, selling drugs is just like it's like the biggest thing in there. That's where you can make the most money by far. So now it's like front and center, you know. So I guess it is probably the same allure on the street that they can make so much money on the street, but on the street it just never even, you know, crossed my mind, never entered my mind to even jump into that field or that arena. But here I am in penitentiary, not even here for a couple of years and everything, and this is what's going on, back to back, you know what I'm saying? Leaving Hector's situation and coming into this situation. But anyway, so yeah, I'm on here, and I tell him, you know, yeah, well, we'll see what happened, man. You know what I'm saying? So we get to kicking in and talking and everything. And I feel like, you know, really not just because of the money situation, but looking out for him because he knew somebody that I knew. He knew my peoples. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a kinship to me. You know what I'm saying? To look out for him or whatever. But as it stands, like I say, I ain't know when I was gonna get out. I ain't know when I was gonna get out or whether they was gonna put him out there. So anyway, about man, we back there maybe about a month, maybe a little long, I don't know. And they come get him and put him out. You know, he get out. I think he got out before I did. Yeah, he got out before I did. And they put him out there on the yard in the block. He goes out there. He's scared to death though. He even telling me he was getting ready to refuse to go out there. But he go out there. He ended up going in a block that I knew, a block that I had already been in before. I knew everybody in the block. So I sent word to him, look out for him. He a good dude, you know. He my people's and everything. I mean, like I know him, and you know what I'm saying, he got some type of kinship to me, you know. So he get out there, man. He doing all right, man, and ain't nobody really pressing him. Ain't nobody doing nothing to him because he don't look like he got nothing. He ain't got nothing, and he ain't trying to get nothing because he a little nervous. So a couple of weeks and stuff go by, man. He corresponded with me. He come out on the yard. He'll holler at me, and we'll holler through the fence when I can get out there for rec. From segregation, you go to segregation. The yard, Mecklenburg is so small, you could go from one part and just holler at somebody at the other part. You know, it's probably like 30 feet away. The fence is separating each other, so it's easy for you to talk to somebody if you was trying to talk to him. But I used to go outside and talk to him or whatever. He said he was doing all right. He said just stay in his cell most of the time. He done ordered his stuff, his TV and all this radio and all this to try to, you know, get himself acclimated because he gonna be here a while. So man, a couple of weeks go by, like I said, man, and then they took me up, man, for release, and they let me out on the yard, man. And see, this is when I tell you sometimes when serendipity happens, man, when some crazy stuff happens and it works out the way you expect it to work out, but you don't expect it. But man, not only did they let me out, they put me right in the block with him, man. Now I'm like 2 cells from him, just like I was right beside him and said, I'm in the block with him, 2 cells from him. Ain't number 12 people in the block. So how lucky was that from them to put me in there? Or would you call it luck? It all depends on how you look at it. Put me right in the block with him, man. Right there with him. So he was happy, you know what I'm saying? Definitely happy and relieved to see me coming there. And because like I say, he was a nervous type dude. So I get in there, man. We get to talking and chopping it up and everything, man. And I'm telling him, you know, everything will be all right, man. You cool. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you in here. I know everybody, you know what I'm saying? They know me. So, you know what I'm saying? Boom. It's like you family, you know? So, boom, boom, boom. We talking and we kicking it and everything. So, I ain't even out, man. I think it's like the first or either the second weekend, man, that I'm out and he get a visit. And he goes to the visit and he comes back. He don't even say anything. He comes back and I'm in the cell, I'm watching TV. All Mecklenburg cells are single man cell at the time. I'm watching TV, I'm chilling. He comes to the cell and he was like, yo, man, Bank, what's up? I'm like, what's up? So he stands at the door, he talked to me. I said, where you been, visit? He was like, yeah, just came from a visit and everything. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. So then he standing at the door, he looking all awkward and stuff. I'm looking at the TV, I look back over at him, and I see him fumbling in his pants, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying, what did you doing? And man, he pulls out a bundle and he throws it over there, man, and it's like a big thing wrapped up like this. And he says, man, that's 2 ounces of weed, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, do what you can do with it, man. See what you can get up off of it, and we'll gap it down. Man, let me tell y'all something in case you don't know. Man, I can't remember exactly how much weed, an ounce of weed cost on the street back then, but I don't think it was that much, $80, $90 or something like that. But in the penitentiary, you know, back then, an ounce of weed would get you probably about anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 in the penitentiary. So that is like a major come up, you know. So you talking about 2 of them. So you talking about maybe $4,000 right there. 2 ounces, maybe $4,000, give or take. So that's and he talking about gapping it. Woo wee, you know. So I'm like, yeah, okay, you know. So like I say, I know everybody on there, and I got a couple of dudes in the block that mess with me, you know what I'm saying? And I can get them to help me get rid of some of this stuff or roll it up. You make more money if you take and roll them up in joints, how they was doing back then. You could get rolling paper. You could actually get rolling paper in prison when I was in prison back then, you know. So the white rolling paper, you could buy it off commissary. So why they sold it, I don't know, but it was on there. So you could actually get rolling paper and they would roll the joints up, and you get somebody, they roll the joints up and they were putting them in three joints was paper thin, 3 joints back then, and they would wrap them up in a piece of little paper where they was all sealed up in 3 joints a piece, and they would sell those for $10. 3 joints for $10. So that's how they was doing it. And if you did it like that, that was called slow walking. If you slow walk the weed, you could probably make more money than that. So, but you would have to actually get somebody to sit there and roll up hundreds and hundreds of joints, which they would do because you ain't, 9 times out of 10, they wanted to get high too, so you just give them some weed for free and get them a roller. I had a dude roller, dude named DP. I give the DP sitting there, roll them all day long, fast, quick, in a hurry, get them all done. Because as long as he wanted to do is get him some weed so he can get high. So, man, I got on the roller doing that. Got to making little money with it, man, and it was even better because it wasn't number one of a dude on the compound that was getting weed and he get transferred. So now there's no weed on the compound besides the weed that Scotty has provided. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So we getting the weed, man, and everything is going good, man. The money is coming in. It's crazy because it just started to snowball. And now it got to the point where he just tell me that, look, man, you get this, man, just make sure that you send 500 to my peoples and you keep the rest, and you know, make sure that both of us got stuff to eat in our locker or whatever. So more or less, I'm getting the bulk of the money. I'm getting the bulk of the money of what he doing. All he want to do is just be able to eat and be in peace and don't worry about nobody running down on him, trying to take nothing from him, hurt him, or do anything to him. I even go in the visiting room one time and I'm in there with my peoples and I see him in there with his mom and his brother, and his mom actually, you know, speaks to me and everything. And I lean over to give her a hug and she tells me, she says, literally, she tells me, look out for my boy. Don't worry about it. The weed gonna keep on coming. Just don't let nobody hurt my boy. And I tell her he's safe as he can be. You know what I'm saying? He's safe as he can be. Believe that. You know, because getting that type of money in the penitentiary, man, I'm telling y'all right now, that's the equivalent to being rich, man. Hood rich, you getting that type of money in the penitentiary because everything is tight in the penitentiary, and you getting, you know, $1,000, $2,000 or something like that a week, and you stacking that money up on your books. That's a lot of money. That's good money in the penitentiary. That's good money anywhere. It's good money out here. So it was good money, man. And shoot, for that type of money, man, I'm going to war with King Kong. You believe that? You know, I'm going to war with King Kong. That's just real talk because that's how I was feeling, you know. So like I said, he really wasn't catching too much flack because he didn't even go out that much. But when he did venture out, like go to visiting room and come back or things like that, whenever he was by himself or get alone now, these dudes be fiending so much. That drug bring it out you, man. They be fiending so much. And dudes very much know on the compound, basically got an idea of where I'm getting the weed from. They know more or less it's coming from him. You know, I'm just the figurehead of it, but they know it's coming from him. So then you had dudes started to be snakes and stuff, man. They started to whisper and stuff or get in his ear or say a little something to him like, yeah, I know you getting that weed, man. Being banky some, man. You break me off some too. More or less, it's like a threat. You trying to really like, you know, extort him. Tell him like, look, I know you getting it to him, but you better break me off some too. You know, dudes was coming at him like that, little whispers in his ear. And at first he was a little nervous to tell me because he was just scared. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know they shook him, you know. So he was like, yeah, man, you know, these dudes be saying little things to me, and you know, and I'm like, what? Like saying what to you? He was like, nah. I'm like, no, tell me, I mean, what they be saying? So he was giving me the example, like, yeah, dudes might tell me, yeah, I know you get the weed and this, that. Man, shh. He he cut that motor on in me, because now I'm thinking dudes trying to plot. They trying to plot against me. So now I'm like, my stuff starting to turn. I'm like, who? And he was like, man, you know. I'm like, no, just let me know who. And I wanted to know who these people was, because I'm ready to confront them and everything. I'm ready to, you know, I don't let sleeping dogs lie. I wake them up. You know what I'm saying? I wake them up, and they, especially when they got me involved in it. So he was a little nervous. He didn't really want to tell me enough. And then it came around to old boy on the compound, man. Big old boy, man. Everybody know him, man. I'm just gonna say Big R, man. Big R. He one of the biggest dudes on the compound. Real big old cat, man. About 6'7", old muscle cat. So he done pulled up on him himself too, right? And I told him, yeah, I don't care who you getting that stuff to, man. I got to have some too, man. Because he goes to the visit room a lot too, so he see him over there. So evidently he done peeped and moved. So he done pulled up on him and told him, yeah, next time you get some of that, you better break me off. I don't care who you getting it to. I'm telling you, you better break me off. I'm going to do something to you. So he done shook the daylights out of him. He scared to death. I mean, you know, I could see in his whole persona that something is on his mind, but he don't want to tell me. Because not only is he scared for himself, he's scared to tell me because he don't know what I'm going to do. And then he's scared of dude, so he don't know what dude to do. If I pull up on dude, the whole thing just got him shook. He just shook all the way around the board. So I'm like, man, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, nah, nothing, man. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Talk to me, man. What's going on? So he was like, man, I might just stop getting this stuff, man. I said, why you say that? You know, he said, I just might stop, man. Dudes is getting jealous. Dudes is starting to, you know, come at me with crazy stuff. And I'm like, what, man? I told you if somebody say something to you, let me know. So he was like, man, I don't want to say nothing to you, man. I don't want to see you get in trouble or nothing like that. He said, then if you do get in trouble, do something like that, and then you going to jail, then I'm still out here by myself. So I just might just stop getting this stuff. I'm like, man, listen, you ain't got to worry about that. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to me. For real. So you ain't got to worry about, just let me know what's going on. I can't deal with no situation if you don't even tell me. You know, so I coached him, and he said, listen. He said, man, you know Big R? So I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, he told me that next time I get something, if I don't give him nothing, man, he was going to do this or do that to me, man. So I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that. I don't want no trouble bank, man. I was just trying to get some money, man, and you know, get everybody on the compound, let them get out so everybody be happy, man. And I'm just gotta get some money, but I ain't looking for no trouble. I don't want none of that. I could go on back in the jail, man, and just, you know, wait, get transferred or something. Like, man, you ain't got to do none of that, man. You ain't got to worry about him, man. He ain't gonna do nothing to you, though. He was like, don't say nothing to him. I'm definitely gonna say something to him. I'm most definitely gonna say something to him. He was like, no, man, don't say nothing to him. He's terrified. Don't say nothing to him, man. Just leave it alone, man. Don't. I said, look, he said, I could give him. So I said, you ain't giving him nothing. You don't owe him nothing. You ain't giving him nothing, man. When you start doing that, I said, man, people drag you there, take advantage of you, man, for the rest of the time you ain't here. Though I said, you're not gonna be around me your whole bit. People just gave you a fresh 20 years. I said, you can't be doing that, man. You got to get some nuts, man. You got to get some kahunas. You know, you got to be able to stand up for yourself, man. He like, man, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. He said, I ain't built for that. He said, I ain't built for that, you know. And he being honest. You know, he said he ain't built for it. And the average dude ain't gonna tell you that they not built for it. Everybody gonna put on the front, act tough or whatever. But some dudes just really not built for that. And he said he not built for it. So I'm letting them know, like, well, I'm built for it. You know what I'm saying? I said, so don't even worry about it, man. I'm gonna holler at him or whatever. And he was like, man, please, man, just don't let it get out of hand. So I'm like, man, I ain't tripping. And sure enough, like I say, on Mecklenburg, they got the bars, right? And if you out in the hallway, you could go from one block to the other block and walk up to the bars and holler at somebody in the block. Hey, yo, say, boom, 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 come. And sure as I don't know what, man, they coming off the weight pal and everything. So old Big R comes to the bars and holler and call for him, right? So I heard him and I know the voice. I recognize the voice. So I come out the block and I go down and look at this set and see, you heard this dude? He said, yeah, I heard. He said, man, I know you heard me up there. Come on down here. That's how bold he is, because he think he that because he's so big or whatever. So I come down to the bars, right, and I asked him, I said, man, would you look for Scott? He was like, yeah, why? I said, man, what you want him for? He said, what you got to do with what I want him for? I said, you know what I got to do with what you want him for. And the first thing out of his mouth, which I knew was going to lead to some drama and some trouble, he's telling me something, man, I'm telling you right now, don't be pulling up on me about no white boy, I'm telling you.
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's a name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.